season, still joined by the rudest of boys, Valtteri Bottas.
Hello. I am still here for part 2 of our epic adventure into the Netherlands, and yeah, we're just waiting. Sorry, there for the custom grid to get set up. Of course, we had a bit of technical difficulties on the restart, well, on the start actually of the grid, and we're back now for the race.
Finally getting going again. Yeah, I said sorry about the technical difficulties there. They do happen. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect sometimes. Cody's are a bit gash. There's Velocity
agreed.
already in there. Guess who's back? Back again. I prefer the boys are back.
Sorry, I thought that was an Eminem line, but I'm thinking he means us.
I prefer the boys are back in town.
Oh yeah, of course, yes. He likes the boys.
Starting as strong there, nosy as ever.
Yeah, well, it should be a cracking race. I'm really looking forward to this. Hopefully the weather's been changed back to the right configuration or whatever it is for as it was in the previous session, because everybody else would have got their setups all sorted for that scenario. But yeah, waiting for everyone to pick their race strategies, and then we'll crack on with. I think we'll have another formation lap, and then we'll get going again. Velocity says "oh," and then a sad emoji. So I'm guessing he didn't like the boys. Well, he doesn't like the boys, which is a bit sad because you should like the boys. And Velocity International League has said "love you, Velocity" with a heart emoji. That's cute, very cute. And we're underway for the formation lap. So take it away.
Back again. So we are I'm just going to load up all my. So to say we have Fatality on P1, followed by Gods, Beefy, Rempo, the Maz, Madden, Seppos, Worry Cloud, Ashvin, Arava. We've got Mars, Ishinology, Sammy, Brandon, or VIL Mitchell. Depends on what you want to call him. CVS, sorry, even Kurt Boy, and then Rick VGR, the gave us some entertaining stuff towards the back end of the Grand Prix last week. Has made it in, obviously, due to the connection issues that we had. So good to have him on the grid, but starting P17, long way to go for him today.
It is, but I'm sure he'll put on a great performance again, as usual. Noah has said evening for the second time this evening, so good evening to you again.
Good evening, Nova.
Nova, yes, and yeah, I just saw there the tyre strategy pop up. It did say soft for about 12 laps or so, didn't it? And then onto the hards to the end, and then mediums can obviously do. Oh, somebody's got a spinner there. Whereas I think see this has spun it on the formation lap there. Yeah, so anyway, what was I saying? Yes, on lap 16 or so for the mediums, if you want to start on the mediums, and then go to the hards at the end. So it's a one-stop strategy without any difficulties coming up in between, put it that way.
So, but obviously strategies can differ. Safety cars can obviously prolong your first stint or in fact a second stint, but we'll see what happens. Obviously safety cars can be a factor around here as the track comes at you at a rate of knots, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully this time you can see those 5 lights flashing in front of us, unlike last time where we were sat here looking like a couple of clowns.
Oh, so nothing new for me, but maybe a bit different for you. But anyway, I'll let you crack on and take away this race.
I will try my best. I think in P9, I think Ashvin has started on a different compounded tyre.
I'm pretty sure he was starting on the softs, yeah, because it was only Fatality starting on the mediums up in the top.
So obviously that won't go down well with the stewards either. We're back again now, and we are having. Are we gonna have the lights going? Oh, yeah, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the 5th light. And it's lights out. And it goes Seppos with a drive-through. Straight away for a jump start. Now needs to make sure he gets there. As we swing down into Tarzan. Carnage behind. My Delta's gone everywhere. I have no idea who's where. But I think Rempo's put herself up into P2. Bit of carnage behind we have. Worry Cloud off into turn 1. But has not started his race very well at all, so he has to come back through the field. It's not what he wants to do at all. But I believe fatality from Rembo, from Gods, from Maz. Sepos and Beefy coming to blows there as well.
I think there was absolute carnage at the back there. I was watching the sort of bottom 5 or so off the grid, and all of them were involved in with wing damage or some sort of incident into turn 1. So it's an absolute mess there for the likes of See This, Rick, even NUF1 I think might have been caught up in some. I know he seems to be all right at the moment, but as we're waiting for the sort of deltas to sort themselves out a bit. But yeah, Rick definitely has to come in for a new front wing, and I'm pretty sure Mars does as well. And See This.
Definitely, Rick did the spin coming out of the start of sector 2, so that puts him a long way back. But we're going to run back through the top 10 now, everything has sorted itself out. I don't know what's happened to Rempo. I have no idea, absolutely clueless to what's going on with my deltas right now. But it is fatality from Rempo, from
Beefy. Like she's in AI mode or ghosting somehow.
No, she seems alright. No, there's a lot of ghosting going on here. So I'm pretty clear to see what's going on here. Beefy's apparently up into P1, but he's up behind VIL, Maz in P5. There we go, sorting itself out again.
There we go. I think, yeah, you're right. So she is up in P2, but for some reason it was ghosting behind P3 and P4 just for us there. But now it's corrected itself, like you said. So yeah, back up to P2 for Rempo.
I'll quickly run through the top 10 now. So we've got fatality from Rempo, from Gods, Maz, Beefy, Madden. Ishnology is just Ishnology and Aspen having a little battle there. Ishnology gets the better of it. But Madden in P6, Ishnology now in P7, Aspen in P8, Arabic in P9, but they're going back at it again. And Kurt Boy,
he's got front wing damage there, sorry, so he was holding up Ask quite a lot there, and his teammate of Arya, down the main straight. He's not pitted yet, so Ish has got major front wing damage, but not coming into the pits.
It's definitely a bit of a mistake there. You're better off to box early, get it sorted, get it done, get your race back underway again. I don't think that's the right call there. There's Brandon making moves, going around the outside of the banking. Can he make it stick? Now has the better traction, better line. Still side by side. Brandon does get dangerous. The move done. That could have been a horrible little trip to the gravel trap there.
Definitely, both drivers did really well, negotiating their way through that sector without making any contact and pushing each other off. So yeah, well done to NUF1 and Kurt Boy for some good clean racing there, and puts Brandon up to P10, so into the points.
Looking very good from Brandon so far. Solid starts to the race. The closest battles we have are from Maz, Gods and Beefy. All within, about 1.3 seconds, 1.4 seconds of each other. So, be interesting to see how the DRS works. Obviously, it's activated on lap 3. So, let's see what we can do now. Beefy with it wide open, going up the inside. Can he make it stick? He can. Great move from Beefy. Puts himself up to P4. Now wants to hunt down Maz. But God's not giving up. A little bit of a lock up there.
Yeah, interesting to see there the biggest movers have been actually Brandon himself from P14 to P9 as it stands. And Kurt Boy, of course, from I think it's P16 to P11, so both up 5 places. Ish is up 4 places as well for Team Williams in P8. And Rempo and Maz both jumped up 2 places as well, so it looks like it was Beefy and Gods that really lost out from the start there, but of course starting on the same compound tyre as the 2 ahead of them as well now.
Definitely, so everything to play for still. Rempo and Fatality just pulling away slowly now from Maz, which is what they really need to do. Remember, if she can just find herself under that 1 second, which she does now, and she's through, she might have just made it into the DRS range through the detection zone. So we'll see what we can get going.
No, she's just missed out there, unfortunately. But she's trying to keep that delta down. But of course, she's starting on the soft tyres, with the fresh soft tyres now, of course, after the restart. She should be quite a bit faster than Fatality, of course, on the mediums.
Definitely, but we did see Fatality looking leaps and bounds above everybody else into Q1 too. Q1 and Q2, so maybe, just maybe, he might keep this form up. which would be good to see. Still staying into that 1 second of Beefy. Beefy can't quite close down Maz either at the moment. So Maz with a little bit of a cushion behind, but needs to make inroads into Rembo in front.
Yeah, Brandon making inroads again on the Williams team, just passing passing Ish, I should say, because Ish is still not pitted for that front wing damage, as he's just been passed by Kurt there as well. But yeah, Brandon up to P8 now, so he's really making some pushes to get further into the points. He's going to be all over the back of Ash in the next sector or two, into the DRS range, I should say. But I think Ish, I don't know what he's doing out there, because he's really losing time between all the other drivers around him. And he just needs to pit and get a new front wing on, get some faster lap times in, because he's really been holding himself back right now.
Definitely. This is only going to cost him time into the latter stage of the Grand Prix as well. And then now he has Warrior Cloud climbing over the back of his rear wing. Warrior Cloud moves out to the inside, and his move done. Obviously, he can go later on the brakes and Ishinology with that front wing damage that Ish has. He can't go deep on the brakes. There's no way he can get the car slowed down. So obviously now he's just losing places. Seppo's now 4 seconds behind. He should make that up within a couple of laps, depending on Ishinology if he wants to box or not. Which I think the right call is for him to box.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's thinking to try and get to those softs to the pit window or not, but it's not really going to be worth the hassle. Really, I think he should just pit now and get the pain over with. Really.
Definitely. He's only gonna lose more and more time as the laps go on. So I think, for his own race, to try and grab some points as Warrior Cloud and
side
Boy.
by side. Yeah, I just saw that as well. It was side by side into the long left hand onto the DRS straight. I don't know who got DRS. I think it was Warrior Cloud in the end there, but yeah, some great battle in there as well. Again, it was clean, but it sort of pushed Kurt Boy out wide, which is not really where you want to be on that sort of corner. It's on the dirty side of the track, really, isn't it? There, because there's not many people who go out that way.
No.
But it's still within DRS range, so he's going to go onto the attack once again.
Definitely. So a few gaps appearing now, so not as exciting as I first thought it was going to be. I thought there'd be a lot tighter between the field. Obviously the first corner swinging down into Tarzan Reed didn't help too much. Obviously a lot of guys having a box. I think the closest one we've got at the moment is at the back of the field with Rick VGR coming onto the back of Mars attacking. Obviously Mars going for the medium compound tyre, but a harder compound than what Rick VGR is on, who is on the soft tyre. So obviously Rick should be climbing all over the back of him soon and getting that move done and progressing through the field. I think Sammy obviously playing that long game on those hard tyres, trying to get as long as he can out with those. I'm just pitting on lap 3, but I think he got to lap 1, so I'm not too sure what's going on there. But
I think it might be a bit of updating due for Codemasters to do.
As always,
in terms of updating the tyre times. But yeah, back to God. He's still in the DRS range. He's closest to the top 5 in terms of battle. But he's not using his DRS down the straights. He's just using the DRS to pull himself a bit closer to the Alfa Romeo of FIFA Beefy. But he's not going to be making a move, it looks like, in the next couple of laps or so, because he's just saving and conserving some DRS. Unlike Warrior Cloud, who's going for it looks like.
Yeah, definitely closing in now on the back of the second Williams Aravoc. If he can get the X out of the bank in here, goes in real quick there. Kurt Boy's out.
Oh,
Kurt Boy
has
lost the back end, and that is in the banking. I don't know if that's...
Wait to see what we get. It is a safety car. I just saw it come out of the pitch just ahead of Sammy, behind Sammy now. Ish is right behind it, coming out of the pits himself. So he'll be able to pass the safety car, but yeah, the safety car is out. So yeah, got a safety car for Kurt Boy's accident as Ish gets past the safety car and can get on with his warm-up lap now. But yeah, it's cool. That crash was a major one. It looked like, because obviously on the banking in the first sector, it's not a easy place to clear up, is it?
No, definitely not. Obviously the first sector is like a roller coaster. So you must have lost it coming out of turns 2 and 3. Might have caught a little bit too much curve, and it does throw the car off violently into the wall. As I said, the walls are very narrow. It's an old school track. We have some of the soft compound tyres now boxing. Remper going onto the hards, and Maz also onto the hards. So probably the right call there. Should be able to get 27 laps out of those. 3 laps under the safety car. You're looking at about 24 laps. So it'd be interesting to see what can happen here. But as I said, yeah, walls are very close. So any mistake and it gets punished. You've got gravel traps, which you don't see very often. You just see about 1,000,000 meter runoffs these days on the new modern tracks that we run on F1. So it's nice to have that bit of punishment. Obviously not for Kurt Boy in this case, but the older tracks do provide better entertainment, I think.
Yeah, I think it's been entertaining so far this race. I think maybe a bit more overtaking is due, but that might come after the safety car has come back out, gone back in. Sorry, Sammy's pit there for the medium compound tyres. So maybe I don't know whether those will go to the end. It might be a bit difficult for him at the end of the stint, as he's actually just about to be lapped. It looks like. No, he's not. He's being caught. Sorry, by sorry, you see this? My mistake. But yeah, I mean it's really thrown a spanner into the works for the leader. Fatality, of course, hasn't pitted yet on his medium compound tyres, and is now well, Rembo right behind him on Maz as well, all on fresh hard compound tyres, and won't have to technically stop again, will they?
No, so they can go to the end on those tyres. So they are looking very, very solid now. Obviously, Fatality will need to get on with it if he needs to pull that gap. Obviously, DRS won't be active for another 3 laps after the safety car goes in, so he's got the time there. He needs to use the DRS wisely and save it wisely as well. But obviously, he's now not in that driver's seat. If anybody's going to be in the seat, it's going to be Rembo. But obviously, the gap she had to Maz is now gone.
Yep.
And it's for everyone. If you look, Madden's actually jumped Gods in the pit, so I take it that the racing points must have double stacked to make sure they're both on the same tyre.
Yeah, so did McLaren as well. So it was a bit difficult for Racing Point and McLaren there, getting their drivers in and out in time. And of course, it lost Gods a place, or one place, and I'm pretty sure it lost. I don't think it lost McLaren's a position at all. But yeah, so I think like you said, they double stacked in Racing Point, causing Gods to lose that one position to Madden, but managed to get out in P6 still, which isn't too bad.
Definitely. Be interesting to see now. Got a couple more comments on from Jonathan Cox saying, "Good evening, guys." Good evening, Jonathan. And one from Walker saying, "Why is there Fatality box? That's a daft decision. Hard to be a match for pace in a few laps. Be a good watch to see him coming through the field." It would have been. Maybe he just thought he was on the right tyre. I personally would have boxed, but you only really get,
I suppose
one shot.
What he could be doing, is he could be safety car is in this lap. I'll be quick. He could be extending the stint on the mediums and then going on to the softs at the end.
Yeah, but that is a possibility. If he's good on his tyres, it's definitely worth a shot. But as Fatality now becomes a safety car,
he's gone too early. Sorry,
he's put the boot down. He's got to get stopped. No, he isn't.
This could end badly. Oh, he just about
He's
made
okay.
it.
But Rembo and Fatality have put a little bit of a gap on Maz going into Tarzan. But now this is where those medium tyres could be in a kind of world of their own here. Obviously easier to warm up, quicker as well. But give it a few laps.
Sammy's gone to move on Ish into the bank turn in sector 1, and he's made it stick somehow. I think there's a bit of lag involved there for Ish as well. But Sammy moving up a position there off the restart and done it very expertly into a difficult turn.
Definitely good to see him moving up the order now. Rough start to the Grand Prix for Sammy.
Oh no, Ish has gone off at the back.
Yep, just seen that.
Got wing damage as well there.
Wing damage again. So Zandvoort not being kind to Ishinoju tonight is beating him up a little bit, but he should be able to. He'll get that back to the pits and quickly change it, and get out with a new front wing. Saying that Maz has actually caught up to Rembo now.
Yeah, it's so back up the P2, P3, and P4, all very close together, and I think Fatality's put the hammer down, like you said, and dropped Rembo to try and get out of that DRS range when it is reactivated, to obviously keep the AlphaTauri driver at bay for as long as he can, rather.
Definitely, there's moves being had absolutely everywhere. We're going to stay on board with the Ashbin and Seppo's battle, which is just hang on.
Ooh. Sammy's coming in there as well. Oh my god, there's about 4
Sammy.
in there. Sammy's gone. Sammy's gone. Oh no.
Oh no.
He's still in the race, but he's got no wing. So unfortunately for Sammy there, you could see it was going to end badly there. I think for one of them at least, because it was about 3 wide going into the banking, and then on the exit, it just putting the traction down. Of course, it was a bit difficult doing it on yourself or by yourself, really, isn't it? So unfortunately, I think one of the McLarens sort of turned into Sammy by accident, well, probably putting the power down. So it wasn't intentional, of course, but yeah, it put Sammy into the wall, and he's not got a front wing as it stands.
That is pretty much ruined his race now. You know, obviously I think Sammy will put that one in for review, but coming out of their traction is quite difficult. But
I think they've got a VSC, so I think that's why everyone's going a bit slowly right now.
I think there is, mate. Yeah, definitely think there is. But interesting to see is fatality boxes. This is all too late for fatality now. This is way too late.
Yeah, I think.
He's being held.
Has he got a 5-second penalty?
I don't know. He just got held after the box, so I don't know if there's a little bit of lag involved there. But down to P13, and this hasn't helped him at all. This has pretty much ruined his race now. Remco in P1, but fatality has boxed for me too late.
Yeah, I think I agree with that completely. I think it's he should have boxed under the safety car as well as everybody else who is now on the hards, or has done 3 laps on the hards anyway. But we'll see what he does when he comes back through the race. Obviously, he's shown his pace in quali and in the first stint of the race, so we know that he is pretty quick out there. So we'll see how he fights back through the field.
Definitely. Got the top 4 all within DRS range of each other now, which is going to be interesting to see who can get it. Red Bull has been saving her ERS very nicely, still in that 90% range, so she's looking very solid there with the ERS, so should be able to get that going just to preserve that lead down the straights when she needs it. And now Deefa got an amazing exit coming onto the straight, and now he's putting pressure on the Maz. Can he get the exit at Tarzan? And maybe put a little bit of pressure going into 2, 3 and 4. The banking
Rick Ask and Seppo have all come together at turn 1 there as well. Rick went in too deep into turn 1 and went into the side, I think, of the Red Bull driver, and he's now been passed by Rick as well. Oh, sorry. Oh, they've come together. That's not good. And the McLaren's damaged his wing. Both trying to turn round now, and yeah, I think there's a bit of aggression there from both guys' fault.
See, this is retired. Coming down the hill.
Up the road.
And Rick BGR is retired as well. He's retired on track. So this could be another safety car.
It depends where these cars go, whether they park up somewhere relatively safe or not. But if it is another safety car, I can't see if it is or not. There's not anything coming out of the pit.
Oh, see, now this is
VSC. It's VSC. Yeah. Rory Cloud's got to drive through for speeding.
This has been.
Yeah, it's not been the tidiest race, has it?
No. Expected. It's going to sound harsh, but I expected a lot better. It's been. I know it's
the standard of racing before has been pretty good in the other races up to this, and yeah, I think obviously people maybe just been a bit excited about the new track in some cases, and yeah, we're just a bit too keen to get racing on what is a pretty difficult track to race on your own, really, and a bit difficult to race on when you're side by side through such a narrow track as well.
Definitely, and obviously I know the dirty air around here, it does punish you a lot, but I don't know obviously what's in their mindset when they're going for the overtakes, but I guess you kind of got to take it with a little pinch of salt, really. See, it is a new track, but maybe just keep a cool head when they're out there. But we're going to go back on board with fatality now over the back of Mars with DRS, obviously trying to make inroads now, and we'll obviously get the DRS onto the main straight. That little DRS straight really just doesn't help anybody, I don't think, with you, Nosy. Don't know what you feel about that, mate, but personally I don't really think it makes a bit of difference to share.
I think they only put it in just for an extra DRS zone, didn't they? I think it's quite useless compared to well as is some of the other DRS zones on some other tracks. But yeah, it's definitely not a DRS zone like a Monza or something, is it?
No, definitely not. Obviously Monza this weekend, and obviously I think the race here and the qualifying there have been on par.
I'd say, well, thankfully the qualifying in real life is a bit cleaner. But I'm just going back to the battle up front. Rembo's just about to get outside that 1 second range of Maz. Maz has been what Rembo's been doing is saving a lot of ERS, like you said earlier, and deploying it on the main straight, and almost getting out of that second range. And now she's done it, I think she might be in control of this race.
Definitely, I'm looking at the DRS. Got about 40% more, but that little moment coming out of the stadium section won't help her. It does help Maz close down to 8 tenths, 7 tenths, back up to 9 with a great exit from Rembo. Absolutely an amazing exit. Gets back out there and gets that gap going again. Gap's now approaching the 1 second mark across the field there. But I think the tightest battle is the top 4 really there, mate. Maybe actually Brandon and God,
Fatality. So Fatality's got past Mars there as well, up into P8 for the race leader, or the man who put it on pole rather, I should say. Yeah, he's doing a good job of recovering through the field. Obviously that 3-man retirement sort of helped him. Yeah, like I said, doing a good job of getting through the field. Brandon also doing a good job, up from P14 to P6. So looking for a driver of the day candidate. You can look for that Mercedes driver because he's doing a great job. Yeah, otherwise I think the top 4 is the main battle at the moment.
Definitely, looking very, very, very close now. Red Bull's just maintaining that gap. That's a lot better exit coming out of the stadium, but Maz gets a half decent one. Will he be inside that DRS?
I think.
I think, yeah, he did just make it. But obviously the ERS does help a lot around here.
But he's clinging on. I'm just looking at the ERS. Like Maz has used half the ERS that Rembo's got saved up. So Rembo's got on 80%. Maz is down at 30, 35.
Sorry to interrupt you, Noel. Brandon's just made the move on God's stick, and now up into P5.
Yeah. Didn't see that, but yeah, great move there from Brandon.
So back to what you're saying, sorry, mate.
No, I was just saying that obviously saving the ERS. I mean, if you finish a race as a leader and you've got 100% ERS, that's just as good. But I mean, keeping that in reserve in case something does happen to Rembo in the AlphaTauri there, she's got all of that ERS in reserve to use that to gain back the time. So she's controlling this race really well. Actually, it looks like at the moment. Of course, commentator's curve's coming, but yeah, I mean, she's controlling that ERS, making sure that she's not expending too much energy, and keeping the racing point of Maz behind and out of the DRS range by a mile now.
Definitely. Just gonna really comment from the one and only draft there. Phil has sobered up.
Yes, he has. So very good job from Phil. Oh, nice one, Droft. That's you put off the main commentator. Now what are you doing? Jesus Christ.
It's Beefy. He's only 6 tenths off the back of Maz.
Sorry,
and Madden. Beefy's 6 tenths. 7 tenths, sorry, off the back of Maz. Madden is only now 8 tenths off the back of Beefy. So, gaps down into 3 and 4 now, still under that second, so still get the DRS. Gods obviously isn't letting Phil Mitchell go without a fight, staying within that second gal, getting the DRS. The only thing with this DRS straight, Nosey, is that obviously it helps you stay in that second. If you ever fall out of it, down that just for it, but you end up getting in that second for the DRS, but fall out of it on that straight, it does help you get back inside that for the second DRS activation zone.
Very true, very true. You could say that was a DRS zone. Yeah, so it's very interesting to see what people use the DRS for. Some people use it for overtaking, and some people use it just for, like you said, just for keeping the keeping the gap to make sure that they're in the DRS zone for the next straight.
Gotta say, this Fatality has made a great move on Ashvin. You could say that was an overtake. And it was indeed
very good.
From P8 to P7. And now moving his way up the field, obviously clear air now to Gods. Obviously only 3.2 back, so should be able to get that gap down and back on the back of Gods there. But Rembo controlling that gap out front, 1.4, staying at the DRS zone, making sure she can put that hammer down when she needs it.
Speaking of hammers, I think Sam's just done the fastest lap of a race, and it's 1:12.5. Which is in the Mercedes there, which is really putting the hammer down, and I'm guessing he's in the Lewis Hamilton car, not the Valtteri Bottas one, but we'll see later on when we'll see that when they come in at the end of the race. God's on the back of Brandon, and goodness me, going up the inside there. The homage to Ginger from ALR commentary. That was
but
dangerous,
doesn't make it stick.
But, it didn't make it stick, but it was good racing as he locks up there into the banking curve, big banker, and we're just waiting to see if he can get back within the attack range of Brandon, of Phil Mitchell, whatever I should say.
I'm glad you said that right there, mate, instead of saying something else.
Yeah, exactly. So he'll get back into the groove and get after the Mercedes driver of Phil Mitchell. As Sammy has retired from the session before the pits. What? I think it's before the pits, so he must have retired out of the.
Sorry,
I think it's another safety car.
Just seen that. I'm just going to read out Josh's comment again. He's on top form tonight. He would have looked up from counting those starbursts. That goodness me.
That's very true. As we've got Mercedes stranded on the main straight.
I think
Madden has decided to take this opportunity to pit. I think it is. Is it?
It isn't. That's a VSC.
No, it's a VSC only then. Right,
okay.
But
if you are going to get Sean any starburst, he likes the red ones, the black claret ones, and the orange ones. So just make sure you get them.
Yeah, make sure you get the right ones. And I think personally for me, I'll have the purple one, please, mate. It's just got a drive-through for speeding under VSC. That was a virtual safety car, and that was unfortunate for as Rembo's actually lost out massively to Maz under that.
I think that VSC couldn't have helped Rembo from where it ended. Obviously, you can gain time from where it ends. Compared to wherever you are on the track, so I think that hasn't helped her. But obviously the RS again, she's in the 90s, and Maz with a horrible exit out of stadium section gives Rembo that breather she needs to step back on it again, and there it is. She's back in that 1 second range again, so she's broken the DRS. Well, not this lap, but has broken the DRS for future lap, for maybe the next lap if she can have a tidy lap 23.
Excellent stuff. Droftas has put an emoji, and it's we got a yellow flag again. Why is there a yellow flag?
The safety car's out.
For who?
I don't know. I'm not seeing anything. But I think this could be people coming in for softs, maybe mediums, maybe.
You could probably do softs now because, like you said, if it's a safety car, I've got a few laps under the safety car first, and then before you get racing. But Droftas has put a black flag. I'm not sure for who, but we'll see who it's for. Yeah, they put an emoji of a black flag, as far as I can tell. But anyway. So we'll wait.
You've made a Welshman very unhappy right now.
Have I?
Has it actually come out as a black flag for you?
Yeah.
Oh. Definitely right.
I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to you.
It's a Welsh flag, mate.
Oh, well, anyway, it's basically a black flag getting disqualified for being Welsh.
They like
But,
they like the old fantasy stuff because they like dragons, mate. Kids from there,
I'll send
mate.
it to him so I can prove it. Anyway, people from the leader in the pits, mate. You talk about that whilst I send him this photo.
I'll try, mate. We've got mediums going on for Rentbow. I think the mediums could be the right side here, as Beefy actually going on soft. So watch out for FIFA Beefy coming out on that safety car restart. Should be flying out there. We got Gods now going on to mediums. Fatality onto softs. Gods, softs, Brandon on mediums. Madden has stayed out there on the hards. So notice one lap old hards. I'm not sure what he's doing there. He could get swallowed up. But other than that, we've got people on mediums. So it should be interesting to see what we can get going on here.
I've just been notified that it was a Welsh flag.
It was a Welsh flag.
I've told him that it was disgusting either way. So I don't want any of that in the chat. I'm not having that. So please refrain from commenting your flags.
You've just killed another sheep, mate. You've made a Welshman angry. Another sheep gone.
Well, there's plenty of sheep.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Anyway, back to the racing.
These Welshies getting us distracted, mate. Can't take him anywhere.
So, what's going on here? Well, we've got
Racing.
some laps left. We have racing. That was awesome. This
is liquid racing.
This is liquid racing, except the safety car is holding everyone up for a bit. But yeah, so we're just waiting for the safety car to go away, really, and then we can get racing again. But it's not going away right now. We're just waiting for the Williams to join up with the pack of Ish. Oh, we've got somebody in the pits.
That's Madden.
In the pits again.
He's changing those hard tyres, mate. Making sure that he's on a tyre he can compete with.
Arshquin. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that. Ish is in the pits as well. Everybody's coming in. But this is just going to elongate the period of time the safety car is out for. And will probably play into FIFA Beefy's hands and also Fatality and Gods.
Definitely. Obviously, we know that anything can hit the fan around here, and it's not particularly ideal when it does. Obviously, safety cars and VSCs have been in the plenty tonight, and hopefully we can get going soon. Because this is not the most riveting experience I've ever had behind a safety car.
I think the Williams will catch up now, so it will probably be in at the end of this lap, potentially, but we shall find out when it tells us. Usually that's when we find out.
Well, but that is normally an indicator, mate.
It's in! It told us.
Oh, see, I'm not getting anything like that, mate, so I'm relying on you.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know it was out to start with, but now that I can see it on track, I can tell that it's out.
It's never
Danny
good.
Mason says striker.
That was a comment.
That was a comment, definitely. And,
but we're going to get going now, and yes.
Wait for it. Oh,
yes.
Go.
Yes, we are not go. We're going late.
I don't understand.
This is not working out for Redbow here. I think she's going to get swallowed up here. Knees and sharks everywhere.
She's not done a great restart there, and Beefy has already jumped Maz.
She's actually gotten away with it.
And Fatality has jumped Brandon. Oh wait, or not. And jumped Maz as well. Sorry, Fatality jumped Maz.
Yeah, so
it's all over the place here at the moment on the restart. Oh, has gone in deep.
Oh no, there's contact. Bit of wheel rubbing.
Oh, this is dangerous play. You need to calm down, boys. There's 10 laps to go.
Cheers, Jeff. But this is actually kind of worked. This worked out for Rentbow. Trying to pull away. If Fatality and Beefy can keep battling, she might be able to get the jump on them early doors.
No, I think unfortunately for Rentbow, she's chosen the wrong tyre option, and the two soft runners of FIFA Beefy and Fatality as Gods has passed Brandon down the DRS straight that means nothing. And Roy Cloud has contact with Mars. He's spun it around in the twisty bit, just like NUF1 did in qualifying. And he's, unfortunately for the worried Cloud in the McLaren, he's correcting the car now. He's down to P12. It's just come through and taking away that P11 from him as George is back in the pits.
Going up the inside. Oh, this is going to be tight going into 2 and 3.
Side-by-side racing. This is liquid racing. And Beefy has retained P2.
The proof is in this pudding. And the pudding is quality racing tonight. But
precisely.
As said, Rembo is cracking on, trying to get away.
Both Williams collided in P9 and P10. Coming out of the pits was Ish, I think it was. And he's collided with his teammate. Made a massive contact there, but I think they're still going. Should be okay to Part A.
No team orders going on at Williams tonight. Just flat out racing.
Maury Cloud is in the pits. Oh no, he's coming out of the pits now. He's put on a new set of boots and away he goes.
The gaps is kind of staying the same now. If anything, I think those softs might just be on their last legs on about lap 33, maybe lap 32. Rembo's got to pray for that, and just hopefully she's picked the right time on the longevity side of things. She's making sure that she keeps out in front of Beefy. Obviously, the DRS comes back into effect this lap now. The safety car's back in. Ishinology now all over the back of his teammate. This should be move done. Yes! Move done.
Oh,
with a little bit of dilly ding, dilly dong contact.
We've had contact. It was terrible. Unfortunately for the Williams boys, it's really just hampering their own races. And yes, unfortunately, not what we want to see. Really. Oh my goodness, terrible.
And Madden now sniffs a little bit of blood with Vic going a little bit wide, and Madden has to be shaking in his boots with the wing damage. Needs to make this move stick pretty quickly to crack on. But Fatality's closer to Beefy than what Beefy is to Rembo. So will there be a little bit more of a slipstream for Fatality with a great exit coming out onto the start finish straight? But no move can be done again.
But again, Beefy, with all of his ERS used up, Rembo saving lots of ERS, probably for the defence of course, but she's using it very well in the right places it seems, as it stands anyway. And again, rapid round the last corner is pulling out a gap to the guys behind, which saves her from any attacks down the main straight.
Definitely. Just keeping control of this race really nicely. Obviously now, with the two soft runners, Beefy and Fatality, are closing in though. What she wants is a little bit more contact between Beefy and Fatality. Obviously we don't want that, but in an ideal world, remember that would happen onto this little pointless DRS straight. Beefy goes defensive and goes deep. Closer. He's gone deep, which gets the gap to Rembo.
So deep. Oh dearie me. Oh my goodness. And Rembo's out of a second.
Rembo's out of a second, but it wasn't quite, because Beefy now did get the DRS for Fatality. Should be climbing on him. Climbing all over him, but he's not. Again,
like
Beefy survives another lap.
Frame.
Should be. Swinging all over the back of that rear wing. Like he swung into Tarzan nicely there. Beefy with a little bit slow.
Oscar's spun it into turn 1 on the curb, the dreaded inside curb. He's got going again, but he's still in P7, but he's lost a lot of time to Mars. Back with you.
Back to it. Fatality still looking at the rear wing of the Alfa Romeo, and that is how it's been for the last 3 laps. As Fatality goes a little bit wide, but manages to stay close. Beefy losing a little bit of time now to Rembo, and Beefy with only 20% ERS. Rembo with 50, looking very good now with the ERS to gain that gap out of that last corner. Make sure she can get down to turn 1 without getting overtaken. Other than that, it's settling down again. Catch my breath a little bit before we go again.
Well, you say that, and then carnage will ensue. It always happens that way.
Well,
again, Rembo speeding out of the final corner, and I don't think Beefy
But,
can handle it.
no,
He's
Beefy-
under pressure.
And we're going for a move up the inside. Will he make it stick? It looks stick.
Jeffrey. Lick the stamp and send it.
But Beefy coming barging his way back.
As well, a robust defending from the Alfa Romeo driver.
And fatality. Lose it just a little bit with the floor hitting the curbing. Lose a little bit of time, but straight back on it again. Rembo is out the second. He's out the
Beefy's
second.
low on fuel.
So he's going to do a bit of fuel saving, a bit of ERS saving. He is now dropped right into the clutches of fatality. Rembo has just stepped on the gas. She's gained about, nearly a second this lap so far. And it's gaining all the time.
I wonder, actually, if this might actually be worse for Rembo in a way, because it looks like a fatality will easily get past Beefy now on the main straight, and then will be after her. Oh, he's got a bit squirrely out of the twisty section, but he's kept it going. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the twisty section, it's just a bit twisty. Anyway, so maybe if fatality does get past Beefy now, as we're watching live, both of them really low on ERS, he can't make the move stick.
I think that's going to be Beefy's saving grace. It's the ERS that fatality has is pretty much nigh on identical to what Beefy has.
Yeah, they're both so low.
Fatality's counteracted himself. He's only got the DRS, but if Beefy can get the exit, there's nothing to be done there for him. And Red
I was
Bull
going to
still...
say, because Fatality showed his pace in, he showed his pace in this race as well, but especially in qualifying. I just thought if Fatality got past Beefy, because I think maybe Rembo was using Beefy to protect herself from Fatality getting past, in a way, but maybe not. Maybe it's, like you said, maybe it's a bit too late for Fatality now to get after that win. Obviously, we haven't seen what the penalties situation is like, so that might play a factor into the classifications at the very end as well. But don't think there's any for the top three as it stands, or any major ones for the top three anyway. Fatality all over the back of the Alfa Romeo driver right now.
No, so far, nothing for the top three. So, but actually,
Fatality's going for a move here into turn one. He's on the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Beefy's gone right around the outside and made it really difficult for him. He's been pushed off there by Fatality.
He's been shoved off.
But and the positions have switched. I'm not sure if Beefy's going to be too much of a fan of that. But I'm sure he'll be able to have his say later on in the comments or in the incident chats.
Well, this race is not over, and Rembo obviously still out in the DRS, and Beefy's still in the DRS. So Beefy still has a chance here of getting that P2 from Fatality. Make sure he can stick and get maybe after Rembo 3 laps left to go. Rembo just keeping it nice and calm with 68% ERS left. That's been the factor. We've talked about it a lot. May it feel like a broken record, but that has been key for Rembo all race. She's saved it better than anybody else. She's driven better than anybody else. So if she can keep this steady for another 3 laps, she deserves the win in all honesty. Beefy obviously still in that DRS, so Fatality's still got to watch his back into turn 1.
Definitely, I think he's Beefy, like you said earlier, he's fuel saving a bit as well, because of course that indicator is still flashing up. He's used up all of his ERS, as has Fatality. I'm not sure whether Rembo, if Fatality to get into DRS range, would be able to defend the attack on the from the driver with the soft tyres as well. But we'll see that the gap is pretty much stayed the same, about 1.4, 1.5 through the last lap. Since Fatality got past Beefy as well. Beefy now dropped out of DRS range of Fatality.
Definitely, and obviously, if Fatality wants to get this big W, he's going to need to step on it now. But he hasn't got the ERS that Rembo has, and he's just using it now on that DRS straight where Fatality can't use his ERS on his straight like Rembo can. Rembo's controlled it, being out in front, just maintaining the gap. That's all she needs to do. 2 laps left to go, that's all she needs to do, just maintain that gap. 1.3, 1.4, doesn't matter what it is, to be 1,000th for all we care. It doesn't matter at the end of the day when you cross the finish line, whoever finishes first. So, back to the RS again, she's using it again, 33% left. Fatality's 9, and it's just clear to see who's managed it better this race.
Yeah, I think she's done a great job, obviously, since even with the safety cars in between. I think the strategy she had before that the safety cars came out and sort of changed the strategy about was solid anyway. I think she was going to be at least on for a podium prior to that as well. So to come P1, if she finishes that way, if it finishes that way, of course, would be a great result for her. It would be a great result for AlphaTauri as well, I think.
Definitely. Obviously, there's only the one AlphaTauri in there, so she's been representing for them tonight. Waited well on the shoulders, but managed it well, and that just isn't closing. As there is a yellow flag, as Gods is no. Maz was round. Maz and Brandon up to P4, having an amazing drive again. So looking really good from Brandon
for sure.
Oh mate, we can't deny that. I think it definitely is. Let's have a look, see how many he's moved up. Moved up 10 places, so for me, easily driver of the day.
There we go. Rembo gets fastest lap as well, just to rub it in a bit as well. One more lap to go, but 11.4 I think it was. Brilliant lap.
Just needs to keep it calm now. Doesn't need to do anything special. Obviously, she knows she's got the pace there. Maybe those soft tyres, it was a little bit too much for him. Who knows? But at the end of the day, Rembo has driven a great race. We're right aboard now with her. Just for the final couple of sectors of this 36th lap, the Netherlands Grand Prix, which has been a bit start-stop, but when the action happens, it's all in your face.
I think that sums it up pretty nicely, to be fair. Yeah, it's been action-packed, all over your face, and yeah, I mean, in your face, on top of your face, all over the face. And,
what about the game, though?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, we haven't even spoken about the game yet, but yeah. So I think cracking job from Rembo, from Fatality with the recovery drive as well, with the strange strategy, not pitting out the safety car the first time.
As Rembo well done comes across the line, and that was a liquid Grand Prix from Rembo. That was a win. We've got Fatality
racing.
And FIFA B for rounding up the podium. Brandon P4, Maz P5. No, Maz P6 as Mars gets Maz on penalties. Ashwin P7. Goss coming home P8. Madden in 9th. Crossing the line now. Got Ishinology coming home P10. Had a bit of a hit and miss race, but managing to grab a point right at the end there. Worry Cloud and P11 be gutted for that effort today. And then in P12 we have Araverk. So
fabulous race.
I will just can you open up the party please, mate? Thank you. Well, I've got them ready. Thank you, kind sir. I swear on PS4 takes ages now. Any time today would be amazing.